6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey everybody.
How's
Good
it
to
going?
see you on this Monday evening.
Yeah. We made it through whirlwind weekend.
We did, yeah.
On
Got the
Friday
baby
night,
shower
yeah.
done.
Yeah, well, Friday
That
night
was
you
great.
hosted a little gathering with our
Yeah.
very favorite cousin in the world, Amy, and her husband and all the rest of us. We played a hilarious game and ordered dinner and
Yeah.
just had a really laid back time. It was great.
Horrible Therapist. If you haven't played it, get it. It's super funny.
Super funny. Yeah.
It's a game focused around the guy who wrote the game's intrusive thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. We had
It's
a good time.
awesome. Yeah.
It's definitely an 18 plus kind of game though, I will say.
Oh yeah. This makes Cards Against Humanity look fairly tame. Yeah.
In some ways, yeah. Yeah, but it was great. Had a good time.
Yeah, and then the baby shower was wonderful.
It was awesome. Yep, got that done and so glad to have it done.
Yeah, and
You
gave us
know.
a chance to catch up with some aunts and cousins, and the kids
Yeah,
got a
some
lot of
people I haven't
really
seen in a
nice things
while.
for the baby. Yeah.
They sure did. Yeah, they got a lot of really nice things, which is awesome. We're only 2 months away, friends.
Yeah. Coming
Crazy.
fast. So yeah, it was good. Then on Sunday we all just were like, we're
Yeah.
out for the weekend. Done.
Collapsed. Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
All my kids made it home safe. Of course, we can have the most tame weather until my kids decide to come home. And then for sure we'll
Yeah,
get snow. So
it's
that
true.
happened, but it was fine. Everybody's fine. So mine are all back home safe and sound and back to life, and yeah, it was nice. We had Mars home from Tuesday clear until today. She was home for a week nearly, which was
Yeah,
nice.
that's nice. It's
Yeah, it was
good.
good. Had a chance for her to really take care of her dog after she got spayed, and she's doing good too. So yeah, I have one
Just
show and tell.
living life.
I have this cute picture of Zig I thought you guys might enjoy seeing.
Oh, Mr. Zig.
So Scott bought me this giant fox for Valentine's Day. And Zig loves it. He wants to cuddle with it and sleep with it.
Oh,
And
how
so
funny.
I came in the living room a little while ago and he was sound asleep in his bed with the fox balanced on his head. I don't know how he managed it, but
That's very cute.
but this is intentional. He did that. He stole it off the couch and cuddled up with it.
How
So,
funny.
oh, he's wild.
What a silly pig.
He loves blankets, pillows, well, apparently big stuffed animals. Anything he can steal to get. He wants to be under something. He loves to be burrowed up underneath something. So, anyway,
Sure. Aw.
pretty cute. He's wild. But I will have to take it away from him once he wakes up, or he will shred the hell out of it.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's only cute till he tears it in half. And with his
No
tusks, he
kidding.
can. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we have all kinds of true crime. It is Monday, of course, so we have a full week coming. But it was a sobering weekend in the true crime world, I would say. All kinds of
Right.
just yeah, uh, hard stuff. So I'm going to kick it over to you to kick us off with some gun crime.
Mhm. Okay. Well, this is actually good news. It's scary news. It's also good news. This was a thwarted school shooting. This young lady right here, Trinity Shockley, let's see, has had a plan. Had a plan that was going to be carried out on Valentine's Day at her school. And it was actually thwarted
Yeah.
before it could happen. She was arraigned on Friday she's 18, by the way, arraigned on Friday for conspiracy to commit murder. Initially, well, there will be more coming. So,
Mm-hmm.
a tip last Tuesday led police to her. She had sent messages to people on social media that she'd been planning a shooting for a year and shared photos of 10 AR 15 magazines.
Oh my God.
There's been some information out that she was really infatuated with school shooters like Nicholas Cruz from Parkland. Um,
Boy, that is a scary trend we've seen lately
it is.
of
It's a
some
really
of these
scary trend
kids
we've seen.
idolizing, yeah, some of the other mass shooters. Terrifying.
Yeah. So when they searched her bedroom, there were photographs on the walls, and the police said they looked like the kind of family photographs you'd put up of your kids, but they were all of people who had committed mass shootings.
Oh my God.
She also had buttons on her backpack with faces of mass shootings on them. These are things she had to have made herself.
Yeah.
She had notebooks in her room saying she'd been writing about wanting to hurt other people. Um, Pretty damning and scary stuff. I have a lot of questions about her home life and who was she living with and how
Yeah.
did they not know, based on the photos on the walls in her bedroom,
Right.
that she was idolizing mass shooters.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot more learned about her in that situation over time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But planning for a year and had mass shooters photos on the walls in her room and buttons that she probably made herself
Yeah.
of their pictures. Was
Oof.
there no older adult in her life asking questions about this stuff?
Or did they just
Because the
think it was
tip,
some weird pop culture thing and didn't
right?
see it as a
I don't know how
weird
it could
thing
ever
or a
be.
threat?
If a kid is idolizing someone who committed a mass shooting, that's probably because they want to commit one of their own.
Yeah.
There's just no question about it.
Yeah.
And, the tip that brought police to her was by someone who was receiving messages from her, which thank God they did that. But you
Yeah.
know who that probably wasn't? Whoever she lived with. That was probably not who she lived with.
Right. Yeah.
Big concerns there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know a lot about it. We'll know more later. But I just
Mm-hmm.
want to mention that was thwarted and she was
Mm-hmm.
arrested and on Friday was arraigned.
Yeah.
So thank God for the kids at that
Yes.
school that they are safe and that the see something say something plan is working.
Yes.
People are speaking up and thwarting these kinds of attacks before they ever happen, and really it's one of the only ways we're going to stop it. Right,
Yep.
Linda, what about the teachers? If her parents ignored the signs, did no one wonder who those faces were, or no
Mm-hmm.
one recognize any of them? I mean, those school shooters faces get pretty well memorialized in the media. Nobody recognized them. It wasn't her parents. It was someone that she was messaging on social media who
Yeah.
turned her in.
Yep.
Wild.
Thank God.
Yeah. And with that, Katie, I am going to kick the mic back over to you for our main case.
Yeah. I'd like to introduce you to Sam Nordquist.
Yeah.
Sam is from, well, I want to say Missouri, but as soon as that rolls off my tongue, it seems wrong. I believe Sam is from Missouri. Sam had met a woman in New York. This lady right here named Precious. And had moved from his home and gone to New York last in October looking for love. And at some point fell out of contact with his family. And his family had gotten very concerned about the fact that they couldn't make contact and didn't know what was going on with Sam and had asked the police to do a welfare check. And it had become a little frightening that maybe we had a missing person because the police weren't sure either where Sam was. He was supposed to have been put up in basically a kind of a homeless shelter of sorts, a hotel where they were given vouchers to stay, kind of things. And nobody seemed to know where Sam was
Hmm.
until the police did finally visit the place where he was supposed to have been staying, and that opened a really frightening investigation. So I'm going to start off, I think, with a portion of the press conference, and then we'll move on from there. Oh, actually, before that, let's share. So this is the missing persons report. So he had been reported to be staying at Patty's Lodge in Canada. I don't know how to say that word. Canandaigua? I'm going to say it that way. Canandaigua, New York. He was last seen in February. So we know that he was alive in early February, or at least they believed that he was. So let's go on from there. Sam was trans. And one thing that's been pointed out is that this picture is the one that was on the missing poster. It's one of the ones that you're seeing the most prominently in the news. But this was before transitioning. And this was Sam at the time of his death.
Just going to adjust these a little bit here. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Trooper Linnea Crane, and I'm the Public Information Officer for Troop E. We're here today to provide an update on the case involving Sam Nordquist, who was initially reported missing to the New York State Police on February 9th, 2025. Throughout this investigation, our dedicated team of law enforcement officers and forensic experts have worked tirelessly to gather evidence, follow up on leads, and uncover the truth about Sam's disappearance. Unfortunately, we must now confirm that this case has transitioned from a missing person investigation to a homicide investigation. We've determined that Sam was the victim of a criminal act based on evidence collected and information obtained. Our thoughts are with Sam's family and loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. We understand that the community has many questions, and while we are committed to transparency, this remains an active and ongoing investigation. We will not be releasing specific details at this time to protect the integrity of our case. However, we can confirm the arrest of 5 individuals. We want to assure the public that our agency, along with our law enforcement partners, is fully committed to seeking justice for Sam. We urge anyone with information to come forward, no matter how small it may seem to them. If you have any details that can assist in this investigation, please contact the New York State Police at 585-398-4100 or email us at crimetip@troopers.ny.gov. At this time, I want to introduce the Troop E Bureau of Criminal Investigation, Captain Kelly Swift.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. I am Kelly Swift, Captain of the Bureau of Criminal Investigation with the New York State Police and Troop E. We are here to provide an update on an ongoing homicide investigation in Ontario and Yates counties. On February 13th, 2025, our investigators executed a search warrant at Patty's Lodge, room number 22 in the town of Hopewell, as part of an investigation into the disappearance of Sam Nordquist. Our investigation has revealed a deeply disturbing pattern of abuse that ultimately resulted in Sam's tragic death. Over the past 72 hours, our investigators and multiple law enforcement agencies have worked tirelessly to uncover the details surrounding this case. Based on evidence and witness statements, we have determined that Sam endured prolonged physical and psychological abuse at the hands of multiple individuals. Those individuals include Precious Arzawaga, Jennifer Quijano, Kyle Sage, Patrick Goodwin, and Emily Motika. Our investigation has confirmed that from early December 2024 to February 2025, Sam was subjected to repeated acts of violence and torture in a manner that ultimately led to his death. His body was then transported in an attempt to conceal the crime and was later discovered in a field off Payne Road in the town of Benton, Yates County. Following a comprehensive investigation in collaboration with the Ontario County District Attorney's Office, we have charged the following individuals with murder in the second degree under the depraved indifference statute. Precious Arzawaga, age 38, of Canandaigua, New York. Jennifer Quijano, age 30, of Geneva, New York. Kyle Sage, age 33, of Rochester, New York. Patrick Goodwin, age 30, of Canandaigua, New York. Emily Motika, age 19, of Lima, New York. They have been taken into custody and are being held pending arraignment. We understand that the details of this case are deeply unsettling, and we want to assure the public that we are committed to seeking justice for Sam and his family. Additional investigative steps are ongoing, including forensic analysis of electronic devices, vehicle searches, and further interviews. We encourage anyone with additional information related to this case to come forward and assist law enforcement in bringing full accountability to those involved. I want to express our deepest condolences to Sam's family and friends. In my 20-year law enforcement career, this is one of the most horrific crimes I have ever investigated. My thoughts are with Sam's family during this time. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Troop E Commander, Major Kevin Zucker.
Yeah, okay. That's probably all we need to know from that at this point. But yes, unfortunately, Sam was tortured for the better part of 2 months, it sounds like.
My God.
He was, they're not being very forthcoming, but what's being said is that he was basically tortured in multiple manners as well as repeatedly sexually assaulted.
My God.
It's hard to even fathom what these people must have done to this man.
Yeah.
This is a photo. The two men are both registered sex offenders and were both on probation from being in prison for sex offenses.
Jesus.
One of them having been sexually assaulting a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old child and did 10 years in prison and hasn't been out for very long.
My God.
And the other one it looked like was on child sex abuse materials. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what brought these 5 people together to do this?
They're still trying to figure out exactly what their connections are. We know that Sam started out in a relationship with Precious and that maybe that kind of went sideways. Her ex did an interview on another podcast and talked about the fact that she is crazy as hell and very scary and has done things like this to other people that managed to get away from her. And
Oh,
so
man.
I did some sleuthing. I came across a message that was shared. This is a message thread between her and an ex who messaged her. Interestingly, in the first part of the message, she misgenders Sam, and then in the second part of the message, she does not. But so the person says, "You all over these pages, yo. That boy's family's going to be coming to New York to look for him. Better figure it out before it's too late and they kick the door down." So Precious responds, "Listen, what happens when I break up with someone and they leave my house? Where they go, who they talk to, what they do is not my business. I already told them she got kicked out of my house because we ain't work out. I told the SS she moved out. I told them a couple of weeks ago that she left. Before that, it's been weeks. I stayed doing all I need to do for me and mine. I don't have time for none of that extra stuff. I have kids and a house and myself to take care of. That's all I do. Always have. I ain't gonna do shit to jeopardize my kids, and shit literally hardly left my home, I think that says. And then he messages again. She responds, "Listen, the last time he went in, so now we've moved on to a different pronoun. Listen, the last time he went into the office to DSS with me, they gave him a paper because he couldn't get housing or something because of something, and so he was removed from the voucher to get voucher housing, and they told me he could go up to a shelter in Rochester and gave us a piece of paper that had cold blue or code blue with a snowflake on it of addresses where he could go. As I said, we didn't work out. I kicked him out. There's no reason to have this going back and forth. I have too much going on. I have kids to worry about. I have a house to worry about. Even if it is a hotel, I have appointments to worry about. I can't be slacking on shit. I need to stay up on what I've been doing and keep my assistants." This was just a few days before she was arrested. At this
Jesus.
point, this man was already dead in a farmer's field and
God.
being uh, confronted by people who know her, who really wonder what the
Mm-hmm.
hell, and that's her response.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, what did she think was going to happen? I mean,
I don't know. There's a lot that's not being released and told yet. We know that there is a autopsy pending, but there's a lot we don't know. Um, e- they're saying at this time they don't know if this is going to be classified as a hate crime. The reason why is because they're saying that some of the people that were involved in this were members of the LGBTQ community. And so
doesn't
they
mean it
don't,
isn't.
right. So they're not saying that this will be a hate crime or it won't. But yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Like, why would you do this to anybody? To anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she actually
Yeah.
lives in a hotel, Tammy. I think she lives in a hotel. Yeah.
Damn. That's just hideous.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Sam's family spoke up and said, "Hey, we can't get a hold of this person. We're worried."
Yeah. And that
Because
the
yeah,
police
somebody
took them
said,
seriously. Yeah.
yeah, because Joelle said probably thought he was a throwaway person,
Yep.
right? And if families don't speak up and just let people disappear, which does happen,
Yeah.
this stuff sometimes you never even know.
Hmm. Yeah. Most
But
definitely.
that's so tragic and
Right?
so terrible.
Well, I mean, it's made everybody think about Matthew Shepard
Yeah.
and the way he was tortured for weeks while he was missing and died. This isn't exactly the same. He was tied to a fence post outside for all that time. In this
Yeah.
case, it sounds like Sam was in a hotel room for the bulk of his experience, unfortunately.
Mm.
But yeah, some more details will be forthcoming. But we really wanted to say Sam's name and make sure that this case gets the attention that it deserves.
Absolutely.
So, so this is Sam, and we'll definitely keep an eye on this. And all of our love to Sam Nordquist's family and friends and everybody who's been affected by this. I can't even imagine the horror that they are feeling.
Absolutely.
I know that his sister and his mom
No.
got to New York today to attend some vigils. There have been quite a few vigils in that area that have been planned, that are happening, that started happening over the weekend and carrying on over throughout the week, which is
Sure.
good. They should.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very sobering
Yeah, very sobering.
to see how vicious human beings can be.
Hmm. Indeed. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to kick it back over to you for another gun crime.
Unfortunately. So this is a gun crime within a gun crime. And this story makes me so
Is mind-boggling. Yep.
mad and sick, but don't they all? If you recall, remember Ariana Davis? This is Ariana. Ariana Davis was 10 years old when she was hit by a stray bullet from a drive-by and killed. And that happened in 2023. She was buried on June 6th of 2023. Well, something that I didn't know until now, because I remember when she was killed, we covered that case and talked about how tragic it was that, just random shit like that could take a young child's life. This was in Washington, D.C. Well, something I didn't know that happened at her funeral. There was a shooting of one of the pallbearers at Ariana's funeral. Committed by this guy right here. Yeah. So he has just been found guilty. Listen to this. This is just so insane to me. So they're at the funeral, like I think they're at the cemetery.
Yeah, it's at the graveside. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got pallbearers carrying Ariana. Ariana's name was Ariana Miracle Davis. Isn't that a sweet name?
Yeah.
And this man, Wilson Wesley Chavis, he's the owner of Compassion and Serenity Funeral Home. He shows up in one of the pallbearers, 30-year-old Ronald Stephen Banks. And apparently there's some kind of beef between these two funeral homes. And Chavis opens fire and hits Banks and grazes one of Ariana's cousins as they're carrying her casket. Yeah. And kills Banks at this funeral.
Child's funeral.
And the defendant yelled, "I own this body," and spit on a pastor at the scene.
Yeah.
There was some kind of beef between these two funeral homes. I guess fighting over business. "I own this body," he yells about this young child.
This 10-year-old
as though
killed by gun crime.
Killed by gun crime. It's fucking crazy, okay? It's crazy. So he's mad at the funeral home that got the business of doing Ariana's burial, and he's fighting with them. So he comes and shoots and kills one person, grazes another, yells, "I own this body," and spits on the pastor at the funeral.
Yeah, of a child.
Yeah.
It's so hard to even get my head around this even happening.
I know. Just to tell the story,
God,
I'm like,
can't
just
get away from the trauma.
Fucking be real, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and her poor family. Oh my God. Her mother said, "I'm so traumatized that this happened to my daughter at my daughter's burial site. I didn't even get to lay her down, even put her in the ground, and another incident happened. This is so traumatizing to me, my children, my whole family. It's trauma after trauma."
Yeah. They can't get away from it. It's just unthinkable. Yeah.
So Chavis tried to flee in his vehicle, but police caught him very quickly. He actually, if you can imagine this, tried to claim that he acted in self-defense as he crashed someone else's funeral. What the hell are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he
that
did.
Absolutely horrifies me.
Yeah, "I own this body." Oh my God. So he has been convicted now of Banks's murder, and he faces up to 65 years in prison. He won't be sentenced until July, but he has now been convicted of Banks's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Paula says, "It's crazy now requirement for funeral directors." Right? How many cases of all kinds of crazy shit have we covered recently?
From funeral homes. My gosh.
From funeral homes. And this is another one. And
Yeah.
it's a totally different crime.
Mm-hmm.
But holy shit, who are these people? And I just can't even get my head around showing up at the funeral of a 10-year-old child who was killed by a stray bullet from a drive-by shooting.
And engage in a shooting.
And then,
yeah,
engages in a shooting at her funeral. It is insane.
Yeah.
Gun crime in this country is so off the hook that I can't even, it makes absolutely no sense. None of it. There's no sense to be made of any of this shit.
None of it, no. Yeah.
Yeah, that story just chilled me to the bone.
Yeah, this happened in D.C.
Yeah, this was in D.C.
Yeah. It's unthinkable. Well, all the love to her poor family, my God.
Yes, my God. I hope there's at least some closure for them now. He's been convicted. And, hopefully they never have to deal with anything else. Any other crime related to her death. There were 3 men involved.
Any gun crime? Yeah.
3 men involved or faced charges in Ariana's death. And now this guy. Can you imagine how terrifying that would be to be at a funeral and somebody starts shooting?
No.
Shit.
I was thinking about how many
It's
gravesites
just
I've
beyond
attended
anything
over
I
the
can even
years.
get my head around.
Yeah, and how scary that would be, but how hard it would be to get away from that as well.
Yeah. Talk about you're out wide in the open.
In the open.
At a cemetery. And
who knows how far away you had to park to even try to get back to your car.
Right, just to get away.
You're very vulnerable at that point. But the thought that you would have to be afraid of being vulnerable to gunshots whilst in a cemetery is so foreign. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Wild stuff going on. Really deeply disquieting things going on. Yes. I think. So very much so. We'll keep an eye on all of these things. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 for yet another episode of True Crime. Don't forget that it is the watch party this week. And we are going to watch the first episode of Apple Cider Vinegar. I don't know if you guys have watched it yet. This will be a little different. It's not quite a documentary. It's a drama series based on a true story. A little different than what we've watched in the past, but yeah, I watched it. I think you guys will appreciate it. So yes, so that'll be
the story is
definitely
a true crime story. So
yeah. So yeah, that'll be Wednesday night at 7:15, directly after case updates. So watch for that, and we'll remind you more, tell you more about that as the week progresses. So until then, we'll be back tomorrow at 3. Please take good care of yourselves. Be safe, be smart, trust your gut, and be good to yourselves. My gosh, there is more good in the world than bad, and sometimes in true crime, well, we're focused on one thing. Well, but remember how many school shootings have been thwarted recently by somebody speaking up. Yeah, it works. Getting involved, knowing about this stuff, always speaking up. Yeah. Yep. Indeed. All righty. Well, we'll take care, and you do too, and we'll see you tomorrow. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Bye, everybody.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.